Hello everyone and welcome to Yoka's Boka. I am Yoka, your night owl. So today we're going to be working in my journal, and as you can see I am missing March. So we're going to go ahead and add a March tab into my journal, and what I'll be using are these stickers, and they're actually for disc. So what I do is I place the sticker for March right on top of that sticky side, so it's like sticky on sticky, and then I just trim it down and I just place it right there, just like that. And we have a March tab, so now we can actually get into the video and journal. So I'm going to go ahead and use my paper pad from Recollections, and it's the wallflower theme. I can't say that, wallflower theme. And I actually got these from Michael's, and I just went ahead and chose these two as my main papers. And what I'm gonna be doing is measuring out like the paper, if that makes sense. So I just put it behind the paper, and then I just take a pencil and trace it. And that's just gonna give me a marker of where I want to cut. So using my ruler, I just go ahead and make a straight line, and then I just start cutting. And I'm just gonna be cutting a triangle piece. So this is gonna be like acting as a little folder into our journal, and it's gonna hide the entry. So you'll see what I mean right after I finish cutting up these pieces. So just once again, I'm taking my scissors and cutting off the piece. So now we have two perfect triangles. So I'm also going to be using some calligraphy paper, and I got this from Daiso, and what I love about it is it can tone down any paper that you have. So you know, that stark white, now it's going to be kind of more vintagey color, and it's not going to be so bright in your face, which I really wanted to use. So I'm just going ahead and gluing it down and then trimming it. And then taking those triangle pieces, I'm only going to be gluing two sides, so not the whole thing, just those two sides, and leaving that bigger space unglued. I will also be taking a piece of my paper from the back of the journal, and I'm just going to go ahead and like glue it right onto that scrap piece of paper. And I couldn't find like the perfect shade of pink to match the flowers on the left page, but I just used whatever I had. So taking a ruler, I'm gonna measure the middle piece, and then taking a hole punch, I'm gonna punch that, and we created a journaling tab. So this is like an easy way to create a journaling tab if you don't have him, which I didn't have him, so I'm just using this. And then I'm also taking some old lace that I had lying around, and I just like, you know, tied it and made it look cute, trimmed it down to what size I like, and you have a journaling tab. So that's a rectangle version. I'm going to show you a different version of how to make a journaling tab. So taking a different piece of paper, we're going to go ahead and eyeball just how big we want this journaling tab to be. And then doing the same thing, I'm taking another piece of paper and just placing that right on top of the pretty paper. And then taking my ruler, I'm just going to mark the middle, and then I'm also going to mark where I want to cut off this, like the sides of it. And then once I'm done with that, I'm just gonna go back in with my X-Acto knife and just cut off the edges of the white paper. And then doing the same thing, I'm just gonna go ahead and punch out like the middle, and then placing my lace and tying it, and that's a different version of a journaling tab. So I hope I kind of explained that okay-ish. But yeah, that's just like a simple way to make a journaling tab, because you know, you don't have to spend money. And if you have the supplies, you could totally make this. So it felt like something was missing on the folder part of our spread. So what I did is I went ahead and took this gold washi tape to go ahead and use as a trim for our folders. And this just kind of creates a more cohesive look. By the way, if you love all things journaling and planning, and especially if you are a night owl, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss my future videos. So for these two pages, I kind of wanted to make the paper talk and not really decorate too much. So what I decided to do is just to choose two flowers and just place it on the journaling tabs. And taking a washi, I just placed it right on top of the sticker. And speaking of sticker, I actually forgot to stick the sticker onto the journaling tab, so it's kind of loose, but oh well, it's alright. Just don't be like me and remember to stick your stickers. Once that was done, it's time for the next pages. So I have this Japanese notepad, and I absolutely love it, and my sister gave that to me like years ago when I was in middle school, I believe, and I held on to it for so long, and I don't want to use it, but I figured today was the day, we're gonna use things. So I went ahead and took it out, and I kind of wanted to do like a bluish theme. I was just really feeling blue, so it kind of spoke to me, and I had these old stickers too. They came from a thrift store, so I figured this would be like perfect time to use it because they kind of like match together in a weird way. I also figured like why not use some more flowers, so I wanted to find cherry blossoms, but I had no cherry blossom stickers sadly, so I had to go with these stickers, and I actually don't know what kind of a flower that is, but it kind of worked and it had the same vibe. It did feel kind of empty on the bottom left side of the page, so I just added this stamp sticker and it didn't really match with the colors, but oh well. Also, I'll be using some butterfly stickers. I try my best not to overuse these, but they're so pretty, I can't help it. So I found just 2 butterflies that had the same color schemes and placed them right there. Before moving on to the next pages, it was time for a kitty break, so I'll be right back. Anyways, for these pages, I wanted to make like my own Polaroid picture frame thing. So what I did is I went ahead and chose some pictures from my aesthetic sticker pads, and I actually got these from Amazon. So as always, I will link everything in the description. And what I did is I chose 4 pieces of paper that kind of have the same vibes and same colors. And then taking my Happy Planner punch, I'm just gonna go ahead and punch out 4 of the papers and then just placing it right onto my journal, and I'm kind of like seeing where to put them, but I like this layout the most, so I went ahead and chose that. Then I just took the pictures that I chose and I placed them right on top of that paper to make it look like a Polaroid. I also decided to bring back that calligraphy paper and just start ripping it up and just creating like 2 corners for the spreads, if that makes sense. So what I did is I went ahead and glued them right down, and this kind of just made it look a little more interesting. I was definitely trying to go for a more art journal-y vibe or like a vintage kind of look, so I think it worked. And I also went ahead and chose 2 flowers that I felt like kind of matched the color scheme. And I also went into my sticker pad and chose some more stickers, but only 2, so not that much. And I just went ahead and placed them wherever I thought would look good. Since one of the flowers had washi tape on them, I decided to do the same thing for one of the stickers. And I just went ahead and placed it right on top of the sticker. I also went ahead and placed it on the top and the bottom on those pages, just so I can write the dates on them. And I also went ahead and chose some butterflies as well. I'm sorry, I can't help it, I told you. And then I went ahead and chose a mushroom and a leaf just to make it more interesting, and you know, I figured I was going crazy, might as well just go crazy all the way. Now that all the spreads are decorated, I'm gonna go ahead and use my Tombow pen and just start writing in all my entries. So fair warning, if you do decide to make these journaling tabs, you might have to take them out before you write in the other pages, just because it kind of gets lumpy and bumpy and it's kind of hard to write on them. Maybe you can't use lace, maybe something else, so it's not so, you know, bumpy. And we are done! I loved making these spreads, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider liking and subscribing. And if you have some time, check out my other videos on planning and journaling, and I will see you all a little later.